for the first time. You know, like just as the author, you hope that they captured everything you want. And honestly, like I'm a very cynical person. I go in with very low expectations. And sorry, no offense, I didn't know what to expect, you know? And so also the most exciting part was walking out of that theater and being like, whew, this is gonna be good.
When I first watched the film, I felt a mix of excitement and anxiety, because as someone involved in the creative process, you always hope that your vision has been captured correctly. I tend to be skeptical, so I entered the theater with very low expectations. I didn't want to be disappointed, and I honestly had no idea what to expect. As the movie played, I watched every detail, every scene, hoping it aligned with the vision I had in mind. I was cautious, trying to prepare myself for flaws or missing pieces. But when the credits rolled and I walked out of the theater, I felt a sense of relief and even satisfaction. The film had turned out stronger than I feared. It was coherent, emotional, and impactful. Behind the scenes, one of the most important supporters of Blake's vision was Alex Saxs. Without her backing, Blake would not have been able to secure the level of creative control she insisted upon. Alex played a critical role in ensuring that Blake's authority as lead female producer was recognized and protected. Blake had insisted that Alex be empowered, that her influence be amplified, and that she serve as a key ally in the process of managing the production. Blake believed that aligning closely with Alex would allow them both to safeguard the project and ensure the creative vision was realized without interference. But Blake soon realized that Alex was not completely loyal. On one side, Alex reassured Blake, supported her publicly, and appeared to advocate on her behalf. On the other side, Alex privately criticized Blake's demands and shared doubts with executives and colleagues. She spoke to people involved in the production, outlining reservations about Blake's control and leadership, creating a complicated dynamic. When tensions escalated in August 2024, Ryan wanted Alex to speak publicly, or at least on background, about what she had witnessed during filming. He hoped she would validate Blake's experiences and support her in the public and legal narrative. Alex, however, refused to do so. During her deposition, she walked back many of her previous statements and admitted she had not directly witnessed many of the incidents Blake cited. She believed Blake and Jenny, but she could not confirm the serious allegations in question. She could not corroborate Blake's claims in any meaningful way. This created a significant problem, because Blake relied on her allies to support her story, both publicly and legally. Jamie, a publicist connected to the production, had received second-hand complaints from Blake and Jenny, but these were indirect and not first-hand observations. Ryan asked why Alex could not even speak on background to clarify things, and it became evident that she felt isolated. She did not believe anyone was truly advocating for Blake. Beyond personal loyalty, Alex faced real professional constraints. She was bound by contracts that included non-disparagement clauses, confidentiality agreements, and NDAs. Publicly criticizing her colleagues or supporting allegations could damage her career, jeopardize relationships with studios, and risk future employment. Blake wanted Alex to be her main witness, someone who could validate her story and confirm her claims. During Alex's deposition, however, she repeatedly stated that she could not remember crucial details. She could not recall when Steve Sarowitz was on set, which scenes he attended, or the days she herself missed filming. She could not recall whether there was third-party HR support on set, and she could not remember many interactions with cast or crew. She consistently responded with, "I don't remember," making it impossible to establish clear testimony. When asked about a February 2023 meeting in which Justin allegedly yelled at her, Alex admitted she remembered very little and could not recall his exact words or whether he apologized. When questioned about Blake and Jenny's discomfort regarding certain recorded Zoom meetings and comments on appearance, she could only vaguely reference events without specifics. She could not remember locations, exact phrases, or even the emotions of those involved. Even when presented with her own communications, she claimed she could not remember sending them or what they contained. This pattern continued throughout her testimony, showing that she either genuinely could not recall or chose not to commit to statements that might have legal repercussions. By repeatedly saying "I don't remember," she avoided lying under oath and avoided professional and legal risk. She refused to corroborate Blake's claims of harassment, intimidation, or inappropriate conduct. She did not confirm that Justin intentionally hurt anyone, that he acted with malice, or that any incidents constituted sexual harassment. Even when asked about the incident involving Blake's trainer and Justin inquiring about her weight, Alex gave context, explaining that Justin's back injury required him to lift Blake during scenes, and knowing her weight was a practical necessity. While she acknowledged that the question may have been insensitive, given that Blake had recently had a baby and felt insecure, she did not interpret it as harassment. She understood his practical reasoning and did not believe he intended to shame Blake. Alex's reluctance frame actions as malicious demonstrates that she was unwilling to fabricate or exaggerate the situation. Over time, Blake assumed that her witnesses would support her narrative, but when legal pressure arrived, they refused. Alex would not accuse Justin of being sexist, abusive, or predatory. She knew that these claims were exaggerated and not reflective of reality. Alex could have testified strongly if wrongdoing had occurred, as others like Angie Janetti did, but she did not. She remained cautious, choosing not to align herself fully with Blake's claims. During filming, Blake may have justified her actions, believing that taking control of certain elements of the production was necessary, but under oath, Alex refused to support that narrative. This creates a critical problem if the case proceeds to trial. Blake's supposed allies are unwilling to corroborate her story. Individuals like Jenny stated that the issues were resolved and chose not to be involved. Alex refused to take sides, and other potential witnesses declined to testify. Testimony under oath carries serious consequences, including perjury charges, fines, and potential jail time. No one wants to risk that for someone else. Legally, many of the incidents Blake cited do not meet the threshold for sexual harassment. Both Jenny and Angie have stated this, and Alex's testimony aligns with that conclusion. This raises questions about credibility and evidence. Blake now faces a significant challenge. Her witnesses are unwilling to stand by her claims. They will not testify in support, confirm her experiences, or validate her version of events. Without that support, her legal position becomes extremely weak. When a primary witness cannot remember events and refuses to defend you, your case is compromised. This illustrates the contrast between public perception and legal reality. Online stories can be emotional, persuasive, and widely shared, but in court, the weight of facts, consistent testimony, and credibility is decisive. Blake's allies are unwilling to risk legal consequences for her narrative, leaving her isolated and her case tenuous. If this situation reaches trial, the lack of corroboration from key witnesses could determine the outcome. Despite the public narrative of support, the reality in legal terms is that Blake does not have witnesses willing to back her claims under oath, meaning her path to validation is extremely limited. The combination of contractual obligations, legal risk, and professional caution from her allies makes it unlikely that any testimony will strongly favor her, regardless of the narrative presented publicly. Blake's case demonstrates how legal standards, evidence, and credibility can differ sharply from perception, and how even someone appearing to have many supporters may find herself unprotected when formal scrutiny begins.